stop feeling that there's never enough money or time or love in the world? Do you struggle with that at all? If you're anything like me, I struggle with this a lot. I'm a mother of three, and building my business back then was really stressful because for some reason, I didn't feel like there was enough time ever to do any of the things that I wanted to do. And if that is something you can relate to, please make sure you stick around today because I'm going to dive a little bit into where that is coming from and how you can change it. Because so many of us are dealing with that. I hear it in my coaching community all the time. People are asking all the time, or people are saying, I just don't have enough money and enough time and enough resources, enough of anything to be successful. And that is not true. That is just your mind playing some tricks on you. But before I dive in, my name is Stephanie Zima. I am the founder of the Walk It Free mentorship program where we heal, connect, and level up. And we heal all the things that are holding us back from living our best life. We are connecting with what do we even want in life? What do we want in our business? And who are we doing this for? And then we are leveling up together by taking the action that is going to get us from A to B, to the financial freedom, to the XYZ goal that you have. Whatever it is for you, that is up to you. And that is where we are going to take you in that mentorship program. So if you are interested in that, make sure you send me a DM. Let me book a discovery call with you so we can figure out how this would look for you specifically. And then we'll go from there. Okay. All right. So let's dive in. Step number one, there's 3 different steps. Okay. Step number 1 is identify where scarcity is actually controlling your life. Many of us don't even know that we have a scarcity mindset and that it's holding us back from achieving all the things that we want to achieve, but many of us actually have it. So maybe it's money for you. Is it something that you're stressing about? Are you anxious about it? Do you ask yourself, do you feel like there's not enough? Maybe it is time. For me, it was time. I never felt like I have enough time. And even today, there are days where I'm like, I don't have time, and I'm stressing about it. And I have to remind myself that there's more than enough time to do the things that are important to me. What I do not have is time to waste, okay? But clarity is where you actually are able to streamline and create more of something, whether or not it's for money or it is for time, okay? With focus and streamlining it, you can actually get where you need to go. Okay. Or is it maybe love? Do you feel like you are not enough? Because that could also be an issue as to why you're not taking the action that you're wanting to take, because subconsciously, possibly, you're thinking you are not enough. You can't do the things that you want to or set out to do. Whatever it is, clarity is your first piece. You've got to be clear on what exactly it is that you're dealing with. What the thoughts are that you're having behind it. That is important, because you can't flip the script if you don't know what the script even is, right? I mean, it makes no sense. You have to know, what is the script? What are the thoughts? What is it that holds me back? And then once you have that, that's when we can start working on it. That's when we can make a reversal and work the antidote, right? Okay, step number 2, reframe your mindset from the lack to abundance. Now, when you identified what exactly it is, like let's say it's money, okay, instead of saying I have enough or I never have enough, say I always attract new opportunities for income. Problem here is if you don't, because you're not taking the action to do that, now you're having a mismatch and your brain won't believe you. And your brain says imposter syndrome, and your brain says absolutely not, abort, abort, abort. Your brain is going to say all these things because you're not aligned. It's not meaning the right thing. So here's the thing, awareness about your scarcity, I never have enough, flip into I always attract new opportunities for income. If that is not true for you, how can you make it true? How can you attract new opportunities? How can you show up in a way that will provide you the opportunities? How can that be made true? Because it's the fact. Your brain is designed to keep you safe. We know that, right? We've talked about this up and down. Your brain is going to keep you safe. How can you make sure that you are in alignment with the new statement that is an abundance statement? I always attract new opportunities. Can you sit down and do your reach outs every single day? Can you put yourself in rooms that are bigger than you, meaning bigger people than you? Can you possibly put yourself into connections or communities where you can, get opportunity to whatever your goal is, right? Whatever you want to do. How, maybe you need to go into a seminar that you work and learn a new work skill. Maybe you need to be going to a mastermind. Maybe you need to join a coaching mentorship, right? How can you get yourself into the position that you would attract new opportunities for income all the time? Because here's the thing, when we believe that it's actually true, then out of the sudden we do have opportunities coming in. Everything starts with belief. If you do not believe in it, it will not happen for you. If you do not believe you can be a public speaker, you will never be it. If you don't believe you can be a salesperson, you're probably not going to be able to be one. You have to believe you can do it first. So with sales, for example, if you're trying to be a better salesperson, you've got to reframe your feeling and your belief about what a salesperson is to align yourself with it so that you can step into authenticity. If you step in authenticity, you are going to be able to make that happen because the belief is there, okay? So don't have a scarcity belief, like it has to be there, plentiful, to be able to take it and run with it. Make sense? Makes sense. Okay. All right. So when we talk about time, for example, like I don't have enough time, say I have more than enough time to accomplish what matters. Okay. When I did that, I'm going to give you an example because I'm prone to say, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. My kids are already known. You don't have time. Mom doesn't have time. No, I have to change that. And anxious people, for example, they often feel like they're not having enough time. But what I did is I took my schedule and I sat down and I realized I spent this hour on this, I spent this hour on this, I spent 15 minutes on that, yada, yada, yada. I went through my entire schedule. And what I did was I made sure that I had my priorities in order. My work, yes, is my number one priority at the moment because it feeds everybody, okay? But my kids are right there. So basically with putting work first, it also is putting my kids first. And I explained that to them as well. So number 2 would be my kids. And then number 3 is health. But health actually would be number 1 because without health, you can't work and you cannot take care of your kids. Okay. So think about it. What is it for you? This is what it is for me. So number 1, first thing in the morning that I would do is I would go work out. I would do something for my health. I would take my supplements. I would do whatever I needed to do first so that I can be in alignment with that goal of I'm going to do this. Okay. And I have enough time to accomplish what matters means I put these priorities into my schedule first. So that when I start freaking out about the gazillion things on my to-do list that I didn't get to, right? And then that's where the scarcity would pop in of like, I don't have time. And then you start losing it all. You got to remember, what do I do when I have more than enough time? I did take my health priority. I did go to work today, and I also had 4.5 hours driving my kids and being an Uber driver and being a mom and doing all the things, right? So my 3 most mattering priorities have been put into my day so I can confidently tell myself I have more than enough time to accomplish what matters. What is it for you? Make sure you have that aligned, okay? If you need help, this is where the mentorship kicks in because that's what we do over there, all right? We're going to plan that exactly out for you. All right, so next step is, or next thing is that I want to talk about is often our brains are actually on fire. Okay. They are not reflecting the truth. And this is why you struggle with that sometimes. It's called the RAS, the reticular activating system. And that means that our brain is being bombarded all the time with information. We are focusing on something that we believe to be the biggest threat when in fact it's actually not. Okay. So what we focus on, that is what shapes how we feel. Did you know that? If we focus on the lack, that's how we feel. We feel stressed and we feel anxious. But when we are focusing on abundance, for example, and the fact that we have more than enough, we are starting to relax, right? And however we feel, that's what's driving our actions. So if we're focusing on the problems, then we are feeling stuck and we are acting accordingly. We are deploying our self-sabotaging. We are going to watch Netflix. We are going to do all the other things that are keeping us from doing what we're supposed to be doing. If we focus, though, on opportunities, we will take action towards those opportunities. So don't tell yourself, I never have enough time, because you will feel overwhelmed and rush through everything. Try to really tell yourself, I have enough time to matters what you need to do or what I need to do most. Okay. And that way you are going to actually do that. So focus on gratitude, focus on solutions, focus on possibilities, on all the things abundance. You will figure out that you are going to have more than enough. If you're struggling with rejection, for example, don't focus on people don't support me. Focus on, the people that you are spreading seeds to. Focus on that kind of stuff. Focus on the positive. All right. Step number 3, practice the more than enough challenge. So abundance thinking is one thing, okay? But it's not, you can't just do it sometimes. You actually have to do it every single day, because sometimes thinking abundantly is not going to convince your brain that it's actually true. You have to learn how to do that every day. So maybe you can start it by putting in a morning affirmation practice, right? In your morning routine. There is always enough to get everything done. I can do it. Write it down, say it over and over and over, repeat it in your brain while you brush your teeth, for example, maybe do something. Now, catch yourself if you're falling into the scarcity mode, because you will. Okay, those are patterns. Those are brain patterns that have been there probably for years. You've probably observed your parents doing the same thing over and over and over again. You will do the same thing. It will take time to get out of that mode into something other. So catch yourself. And every time you start thinking, I don't have enough time, stop. Replace it with an abundance thought instead. Something that you have already put in your brain, like, I have enough time for all the things that matter. Okay. So when you start ramping up and say, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time, whoop, stop for just 1 second and think about, I have enough time for all the things that matter. Then you need to track all the things. You got to track. You got to go through the days, figure out, what did I do today? Where was I stressed? Where was I not stressed? How did I resolve that? How did I show up? And that's a key over here. Then you need to figure out, what did I do for the week? And then you need to figure out, what did I do for this month, right? That's how you have to track it every single time to measure your progress. So that was what I wanted to share with you today. If you need some help or you have no idea where you're at with it, comment blueprint below, or just BP if that's what you want, and I will send you my breakthrough blueprint with a questionnaire that will tell you exactly on what area you may have issues and at what area you may want to start your personal development journey. If you just are ready to level up, go ahead and comment mentorship below or send me a DM. Let's get into a discovery session. Let's talk. I'd be more than happy to enroll you into this mentorship program, and we can figure out together where you are, where you want to go, how to get there, and what steps need to happen in between. Okay? I hope this was helpful. Comment below your key takeaways. I would love to know them, and also it will help other people to identify whether or not they want to watch this video, and I would really much appreciate it. All right, we'll talk later. Walk it free.